So we started, so I graduated out of IIT Delhi in 2005, and I started an online ordering business right out of college in 2005. 2005 was way too early for this business, right? And we had to shut it down in about 6 months. And after that I joined Bain and Company and worked there for 4 years. In the middle of that tenure, Pankaj and I, with both the founders of Zomato, were sitting in the cafeteria, and we saw like a few of our colleagues lined up in front of a stack of menu cards, because people were essentially like used to ordering food from all these places, and we had these menu cards in the cafeteria, and there was a rule that you can't take these menu cards back to your desks, because if you do, you'll lose them and nobody will be able to order food. So I put two and two together and said, Kier, we had this online ordering business. Right now people need these menu cards. Let's just take the online ordering part of the platform off the platform and just do scan menus and put phone numbers for people to order food from. And very, very simple in terms of execution, no restaurants to tie up with, no operational sales team, like no customer support team required. It was a very scalable platform that we could build just out of scan menus. So we built that, we built it just for Bain, and we started getting a lot of traffic from within the Bain office. We said, yes, this is something that might work, so we just went ahead and did it for the rest of the country in some time. So we ran Zomato, earlier it was called Foodiebay, for about 1.5 years alongside Bain. So on the weekdays we'd do Bain, and on weekends we'd focus on Foodiebay. And after a point in time, right before we quit Bain to do this full time, we started getting a lot of calls from restaurants saying that they want to advertise with us. So, and on the weekends we used to go sell to these restaurants, like the ad space on Foodiebay. So we started making a little bit of money. Eventually we realized easily that we can make more money out of this than we would like do working somewhere else. So we quit our job, we focused on this. We bootstrapped for quite a bit, and for about 6 months after quitting we bootstrapped, and then we got our seed round from InfoEdge. And I think funding, if used in the right way, can really accelerate your growth, and I would say can also give you sustainable growth if you actually like spend all the money or invest all the money in the right way. So we continued focusing on that, because back in 2010 funding was very hard to come by. And what we're seeing in the last couple of years, it was an entirely different picture back then. So we had a lot of these small rounds, and each round was a small inflection point for us, right? So we would invest that money in either like market expansion or product expansion or expanding the sales team. That's how we used to like really work. The really big inflection point for us was when we actually launched our Dubai section in mid 2012, and that was just out of the fact that we're like doing fairly well in India, and we've beaten our largest competitor, and we're thinking what to do next. For us, the choice was, should you go into other verticals within India with our same product, or would you go into other countries with the same product, right? So we thought that going into other verticals will be pretty much as good as running a new business. So, and we thought that, okay, let's learn a new country with the same business. That might be easier for us than running a new business within the same country. And luckily that worked. So in Dubai we had amazing success just to start with, and we very proudly say that in 6 months of our presence in Dubai, we had more traffic in Dubai than the population of Dubai. So that really worked well, gave us the confidence to go into a lot of other markets. And our international scale can also be called an inflection point for us. Right now we got about 100 million people visiting us every month, and about 82% of their traffic comes from outside of India, and that completely changes the whole dynamic for us. I think Zomato stands out because of two things. First is the quality of people that we have. I think, and that comes from the Indian context as well. I think Indians are willing to work much harder and willing to throw everything that they have in order to make this work. And going into any new market, cold starting the market, like expanding the product, getting traffic, getting sales, it's a Herculean task in every country that we go to. and it's like it's repeated all over again whenever we launch a new market. So people don't get tired, I think, and I think that's the most important factor here. We guys work hard and we don't get tired, and that part of the culture also drives success at Zomato. The other thing is, which also relates to the first one, that most of the companies in the valley are always trying to find tech-oriented solutions to problems, right? Sometimes you can't have a tech-oriented solution to problems. Sometimes you have to throw people at a problem and then solve that problem. And we don't shy away from like solving problems in ways typically a tech company wouldn't solve. And we know that we're essentially like basically a tech company, but we need to complement like a lot of our products and a lot of our work with some people, like with feet on street as we call it. So that works, and a lot of other people, I don't know why, but they're just not willing to take that up by themselves. Overall, we're trying to build a platform to connect users to restaurants and vice versa, right? So, and a user might want to connect to a restaurant in any which way possible. I mean, that might be for a table reservation, that might be for an online order, that might be just to like search for a restaurant, to upload a food picture, like to call a restaurant. Like there's like multiple ways in which a user might want to communicate with a restaurant. So we are saying that as long as the target user base is the same and as long as the target business base is the same, we want to do everything which connects both of these guys, right? And we're saying that a table reservation product is not a separate product at all. It is essentially the same user and the same business, right? So, and our search product, our mainstay of the business where people come and look for restaurant recommendations and they search for restaurants, I mean, that's all the 100 million traffic we have. And these users are already coming into Zomato to look for delivery options, to look for dine-out options. So essentially now we're saying that let's just like close the loop, okay? Let's just close the loop and get into online ordering so that people who are already searching for delivery options on Zomato are able to order through Zomato as well. That they shouldn't have to like press the call button on the app and then like look at the menu and then decide what to do. They should be able to do it through the app. And one of our most important focus areas has been that the user experience has to be really, really good. I mean, just a couple of years ago or even like 1 year ago, and it's true for a large set of our competitors in this space as well, it takes longer to order food online through their app than you picking up the phone. So for us it's like, no, our online ordering experience has to be faster than people like picking up the phone. And we're very proud to say that we've actually achieved that goal. That I mean, you can order with the Zomato app in less than half the time as you would take if you pick up the phone. So these things essentially are our focus area, and let's see how that goes. So break even on a company-wide level, we have we don't have any plan or we don't have any forecast to break even on the company-wide level because we are investing a lot in growth and capital is available, so we're keeping on. We're just like stay invested in growth. However, we are conscious about profitability and unit economics, and how we look at it, how we look at the overall business is a sum of parts, right? So we have a lot of countries and each of these countries have a lot of businesses. So each business in every country needs to break even in a certain set of time, right? So for example, our ad business in India is profitable, our ad business in Dubai is profitable, our ad business is in 4 more countries. But now in these countries, we're adding 4 new businesses each. Now these countries are no longer profitable because we're adding like a lot of new businesses in these countries, but each of these new businesses are expected to break even within like 1 year to 2 years, depending on which business it is. But I think if you look at the overall scale, we'll continue adding more countries and we'll continue adding more products. So according to us, break even is almost a state of mind, right? So it's a growth versus break even kind of a thing. And as long as individual businesses within like specific countries are breaking even and are turning profitable, I think we are a healthy business, and that's what matters at the end of the day. Every place comes with its set of pros and cons. India has a good set of its pros and a good set of its cons as well. I think the biggest advantage India has is that the quality of people we get here is quite good. And I'm not saying that the quality of people we get anywhere else is not good, but the attitude and the hunger with which people operate in India is starkly different from any other country that you would go to. And that hunger actually makes a lot of difference when you're trying to fight like 20 competitors at the same time, right? So that's the only thing that makes a difference. And in terms of cons, I think India needs to improve its infrastructure, because I mean, for Indian companies which operate locally in India, I think great. Like, it's a land of opportunities, the market sizes are huge. But if you're going to build a global company out of India, we have problems moving our international people to India because they don't want to stay here for long, right? So that infrastructure problem, I think it's already getting a lot better, but it will take another 3-4 years for us to get to a point where Europeans or Americans would be like happily living here with the quality of life they would expect back at home. So I think that's the one problem. And in general, yeah, India is a land of opportunities for everyone.
Right.